today. So Hand wins the toss, declines, and lets the Branford get the ball first, and we're about ready to get this game underway. Branford High School is one victory against Cross of New Haven and 4 losses at this point. Hand is 2-2-1 with losses to the powers in the state, Cheshire, Fairfield Prep, and a tie against Hamden. We will have this game underway very shortly after the national anthem. Daniel Hand will kick off first to Branford. Gabe Balsamo is with us today. Gabe, not much chance to talk to the coaches or anything before this game, but what do you know about Branford?
Well, Branford, as you said, Ken, is 1-4, and we extended the invitation to Hand. They're coming into today's game with a record of 2-1-1. And just one thing for Hand, hope they're not overlooking Branford, because they do have a tough Notre Dame or West Haven ball club coming up in a couple of days on Friday night.
Greg Walby hits it down to the 11, and the return is up the middle, and a good return across the 30 down near the 35. Branford with the ball first in this game. This game will have a little different flavor than most games. The band is not here for Hand. There are about roughly 29 people in the stands.
It's going to be a relatively quiet Monday afternoon. It feels very strange during the football game.
It is a nice day after 2 or 3 solid days of rain. Branford with the ball first at the 34. And quarterback still got it rolling this way. A receiver wide open on the near side and a big gainer. And he's going to take it all the way for a touchdown unless he gets caught from behind. TJ Naylor got it. TJ Naylor tackles him, but he does make the end zone. So all the way back for Branford, and not a very good start there for Hand.
Well, it was an 80-yard pass play, Kent, and I didn't catch it, but I don't know if one of the defenders had slipped originally to let the big back out of the backfield.
So that was a pass over on the left flat, a man wide open, and blocking sealed it off. TJ Naylor finally caught his man right at the end zone, but he got in for a touchdown. Branford scores early, first play from scrimmage. And they're going for 2. And there the right tackle jumps early for Branford.
And the quarterback for Branford is Brian Davies, number 15. He's a junior, 6 foot, 160 pounder.
That will push Branford back 5 yards, and they will try the conversion again. They were going for 2. They had a man split wide right. Still no sign of a kicker out on the field. Only now they've got to go about 7-8 yards. I formation, the receiver split to each side. And quarterback looking to throw across, an incomplete pass, and that one was smelled out by TJ Naylor over there, covering one-on-one with that wide receiver on the far side. 6-0, Branford leads Hand early in this game. 1 play from scrimmage so far, and it broke it all the way. It will be interesting to see the effect of 2 days delay to get this game underway. We know it didn't help the New York Yankees any to have a little delay in their first game.
Ken, on paper, so far this season for the Tigers, Branford looks to be the easiest opponent so far this year. And we just hope that they're not overlooking this game and looking towards Notre Dame this Friday night, which is only 3 days away.
Don't count on that, Gabe. I've been watching Hand play Branford for several years, and they always have a tough time against Branford. Fielded on the 15 by Friedler, and Friedler brings it back to the 25. Branford High School may not have the good won-loss record, but Hand has always had trouble with them. Even the games that they won have been close. They know they had a tie not too many years ago, and they've lost several close ones to Branford in recent years.
So it's like a psychological team.
So Branford is no pushover just because they're Branford, apparently. First down for Hand at the 25 in their first possession, and they're trailing 6-0 early in the first quarter. That's Milligan pitching wide to Darrell Noble, who cuts it back for maybe 3 yards. That was a toss left, sweeping wide. Darrell Noble cut it back and was pretty well penned in. He got about 3. Over the ball at center for Hand is Chad Taylor, number 75. Run up the middle this time, and that's Jeff Monroe. Jeff Monroe got a first down and more, still going across the 45 to about the 46. First down for Hand. Jeff Monroe right up the middle.
That was a good play by Jeff, because if the field is in relatively good shape considering all the water that was on it, and they said they had to pump the field earlier today. And those type of plays, if the field was very wet, are the only type of plays that probably would gain anything, is straight up the middle.
This is handed off to Darrell Noble. He breaks it outside and takes it forward for 6 or 7. He's across midfield.
On a wet field, it would probably hinder like a Darrell Noble with his cuts, and you would just want someone who could square his body and just run straight up the middle. On an off field, that's the way a running game would partake, and then even passing. Short passes, quick cuts would favor the offense rather than the defense.
About a 6-yard gain by Darrell Noble. 2nd and 4 for Hand at the 48. And this one is handed to Noble. And Noble gains about 1 on this game. Over left guard, left tackle. We will try to get the rest of the linemen in there for Hand. Chad Taylor is the center. Matt DeConcilius, big number 74, is left tackle. Matt Mesa is one of the guards, I believe is what he's playing. 68 is Andy Elting. 3rd down and 2 for Hand. Run up the middle, and there's a first down across up to the 40. Got a first down plus a couple, so about a 6-yard gain by Darrell Noble. 64, Ryan Connolly is in the line, blocking ahead of the run. At tight end is James Kingsley, 42. Connolly and Mesa on the right side of the line. Elting and DeConcilius on the left, and it's pitched back to Darrell Noble, and Noble bulls his way forward for 6 or 7 again, down to about the 34.
Ken, the defensive tackle for Branford is the biggest guy on the ball club. He goes around 6'2", 6'3", and 280 pounds. He's number 73.
Here's a big one, isn't he? Another 5 to 6 yard gain by Darrell Noble, and Hand is grinding it out after being stung on the first play from scrimmage for a touchdown by Branford. And Hand is trailing 6-0. This one is rolled to the left by Milligan, and Milligan's got a corner over there. Got one man to beat, takes it across the 30 for a first down. He needed to make the 30 for a first down, and he got to the 28.
Good for a hand, first down.
Ryan Milligan rolling left. Out goes Sean Manley into the game for this play is Dan Anderson. Dan Anderson's in a fullback, Darrell Noble a tailback, Ryan Milligan a quarterback, Greg Walby split wide right. And it's run right up the middle by Anderson. Takes it forward for about 2.
Anderson on the carry.
Dan Anderson down to 26.
Good for a gain of 2, brings up a second and 8 for the Tigers.
Kent, this is a good, impressive drive by hand. Grinding it out on the ground. There's 7:40 left to go in the first quarter. And very impressive running game so far.
Scott Roberts is over on the left side as a receiver. Greg Walby to the right, and no passes yet by hand. Roberts in motion. And there's a flag in Hand's backfield, and it's thrown over incomplete, aiming for Scott Roberts. That was a flag thrown in Hand's backfield, so...
Ken, I think they're going to call Scotty Roberts for going upfield a little bit too early on the motion to the right.
He was the man in motion. Did he turn it up a little early?
I think so.
They may decline that, which they do, because it was an incomplete pass. Third and 8 for Hand. It's a 28. Probably a pass play.
Think we'll see a pass to the tight end on this?
Well, the receivers out here, number 9 is Tim Sullivan, wide to the right. Darrell Noble slot left, and of course in the tight end position is, there's the tight end he was looking for, Kingsley. Overthrown, Kingsley could not reach it, and right beyond him was Dan Anderson, so that brings up 4th down, 4th and 8. Ball's at 28. Fourth and 8.
Jeff Monroe checks in. Looks like they might try to go for it.
I don't see a punter in the game. Mike Hominick is normally the punter, and they're going to go for it. It's a 28. 4th down play. And Branford jumps early. That will help. That will make it about 4th and 3 for Hand. Mark Bergami brings in a play for Milligan. 4th and 3. The ball is just outside the 20.
That was Danny Bloomquist that jumped off.
I'm sure his parents will be glad to hear that one. 4th and a short 3 for Hand. They're going to run it. And there goes Noble. Darrell Noble around the corner, and he's heading for the end zone. Touchdown Hand. Tie game. And yours truly just got in the way of the camera here. Hand ties it up at 7:10 left in the first quarter with an impressive drive all the way down the field. There were no complete passes there, all running, and Darrell Noble took it in around the right side. Good blocking there on the right side, and that's where the tight end blocks in, and apparently James Kingsley cleaned out on that side. Conversion try to put Hand ahead is going to be attempted by Greg Walby. And it's a low snap and not going to be able to do anything with it. Scott Roberts is going to throw it, complete pass in the end zone for James Kingsley. A fumble snap, but he picked it up with good presence of mind and threw it to Kingsley in the end zone. And that was a good play on Kingsley's part too, to make sure that he got himself open when the snap was low, and Roberts could not handle it. So Hand takes the lead 8-6 when we have 7:10 left first quarter. Daniel Hand against Branford on Monday afternoon. Hand takes the ball down the field and scored. Greg Walby to kick off back to Branford. We have 7:10 left in the first quarter. Walby hits it high and long. It's a good kick. Fielded at about the 5 and run up the middle and breaks through. And Walby is the man back, and Greg Walby slows him up funny. He rides him out of bounds at about the 40-yard line, 42.
On the hand, 41
Donato, and you had another good run back at the beginning of the ball game. And that was a good game-saving tackle there.
So the kicker, Greg Walby, was back as a last man, a safety man, and he had to make the tackle on that run back of the kick. He kicked that one long. It went in the air clear to the 5, but the coverage for hand was not as good as they'd like. Branford, belly series, option, finally pitched out, and now the man cuts back. There's a flag down, and a couple of tackles missed. Finally ridden out of bounds by Connolly and Mesa, but there's a flag down on the play. That probably is some kind of an illegal block against Branford where that was thrown. That's a holding against Branford. That play will come back. So that wasn't all a breakdown defensively. Somebody was illegally hanging on to a hand player. With the penalty, he takes the ball clear back across midfield to the 49.
20 on their own 49-yard line.
Repeat first down, but that long play is going to come back. First down and 20. And they came out with an option on the last play. Motion right with a receiver wide right. Quarterback still got it. Ryan Connolly chasing. And it's in and out of the hands of the receiver. Incomplete pass.
Incomplete, intended for number 8, Lou Chang.
Louis Chang, the wide receiver, he's a senior. He's one of the smallest guys on the team. He only goes 5'9" and 180 pounds. He's rather small for a wide receiver.
That play was strong to the right, everything flowing to the right, and roll out to the right, pass to the right, but it just wasn't caught. They would have gained about 10 yards had that been completed. It'll bring up 2nd and 20. High formation, receivers each side. And it's run up the middle over the right guard, right tackle. Matt Mesa is hanging on. Zach Suppies is in there with a tackle. Ryan Connolly in the bottom of that tackle.
42, James Kingsley.
Kingsley. And pretty good pursuit on that. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 16.
This is the Hornets' 3rd and 14.
Third and long for Branford. And this is going to be a pass play. Connolly is after the quarterback. Thrown incomplete, low. And good thing he threw it low because there was one red shirt and about 5 white ones out there. 4th down play coming up for Branford.
Brian Davies slipped on it. He went to plant his foot, and his foot went out right from underneath him as he was going to throw the ball. So you can see that the field is still slipping. Branford players, their uniforms are a little bit wet. So the field is wet. It's soft. And it's very difficult to plant your foot in certain places.
And he was about to get buried by Ryan Connolly. Branford in punt formation. He'll be punted at about the 45. Back deep to receive for hand is Friedler, and almost blocked. Suppies is there close, and it's not handled. There's a flag down. Finally, it's covered by Branford in the end zone. We have a flag down here.
And it could be against Branford. Maybe they didn't give the hand receiver enough room to catch the ball.
Did he signal for a fair catch? Gabe, I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell because I was watching the punter because it looked like Zach Suppies was blocked into the kicker, and they were giving that a quick look, and I caught out of the corner of my eye the flies coming down, but there were a lot of red shirts around the, I don't know who was back.
It would have been an illegal play had he signaled for a fair catch, but like you, I was watching the punter back here that The punter took a flop looking for a flag back there. He didn't get it, and I didn't really see what happened.
Academy Award for that, but that's about it.
It will be against Branford, so Branford will not score on that play, but what are we going to do here? Repunt? I believe that play is going to come back and they're going to run it over. I don't think so. That's exactly what happened down there, Gabe. They did not give the receiver room to catch the ball.
Enough room to catch the ball, and they must have hit him prior to him catching the ball.
So that fumble was caused because somebody hit him. Daryl Noble is back this time to receive the punt, and this punt now will be between the 25 and 30. It's a good snap and kicked a high wobbler. Daryl Noble feels it at about the 31, and he's dancing. It looks like they're trying to set up a wall. He needs to get around one more man. They had blockers ahead of him, but he couldn't get by the last two men down there by himself.
About a 6-yard return on that punt.
Hand had the wall of blockers set up on the near side of the field. The ball was kicked over on the other side, so he had to dodge 3 or 4 people. He dodged the first couple, but then he couldn't get the corner turn. Hand with the ball back at the 38. We have 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Hand leading 8-6. There goes Daryl Noble, and he's going to get nothing on that run. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Second and 10. Ryan Milligan at quarterback. Jeff Monroe is at fullback, and Daryl Noble in the tailback slot. Here comes Milligan. Milligan's going to bring it down and run on the near side, and a good block by Jeff Monroe ahead of it. Takes it forward for 7 or 8 yards.
And he might be about a yard and a half short, so you see where they spot the ball.
Yeah, they're going to be about 2 yards short of a first. Third and 2.5 yards to go. Jeff Monroe was riding the block very well out on the near side to give Milligan that corner. Third down and 2. Handed off to Monroe across the middle. First down across up to the 45.
Jeff Monroe on the carry. They took for a hand the first down.
About a 9-yard gain by Monroe. He needed 2. Out of the game is number 28. That's Colin Johnson for this play. I doubt it. I don't know.
Split to the left.
2 receivers to the left. And there the Branford man jumped early, but no flag. Run by Daryl Noble down to the 41.
Picked up close to about 5 yards or so on that play.
I gave him,
We'll give him 4 yards.
I gave him about 4 on the gain. Dan Anderson brings a play in to Milligan. We're down to 3.5 minutes left, first quarter. Daniel Hand, high school, leading Branford 8-6. Branford scored on the first play from scrimmage on a pass play, and then Hand marched it down the field, and they're on another march so they can keep it going. Milligan rolling left, looking to throw over there out of the reach of the receiver. He was looking for Walby. Greg Walby was the receiver out there. And Milligan had that corner. If he wanted to run it, he could have probably made that first down.
He had the left side there, but he opted for the pass rather than the run.
Into the game is Scott Roberts. Out is Tim Sullivan for this play. Third down and 6. James Kingsley swings over to the left side as he's as the tight end. Straight back drop and a throw intercepted by Branford. Run to the right and finally turn it back, and Milligan makes the tackle. Finished off by Roberts. Ball brought back near midfield. Ryan Milligan was intercepted and he makes the tackle on the run back. Branford takes over with just under 3 minutes left in the first quarter, just short of midfield. Matt Mesa and Ryan Connolly are the two down linemen in the middle of the line. On the far side is Colin Johnson. On this side is Zach Suppies. Jeff Monroe is also over here on this end of the line. And it's run to the right side. Short gain. Colin Johnson and James Kingsley in on the tackle. A little over 7 yards to go for a first down. The secondary for our hand is TJ Naylor, 21 on the far side. Greg Walby on this side. Greg Bergami on the far corner. Jeff Monroe on the near corner. And the deep safety man playing center field there is Ryan Milligan. Now Milligan cheats up. 2nd and 7, and Jeff Monroe after the quarterback, and he's going to throw that one well out of bounds. Good pressure by Mark Bergami, Zach Suppies, and Jeff Monroe. All three of them were in there on the quarterback, and he had nothing to do but unload it out of bounds.
Tigers got good penetration on that and hurried the quarterback, and basically that was, he threw that one away.
And he was lucky to throw it away.
It was away.
That was a wounded duck by the time he threw it, so it was a good thing it came down out of bounds for Branford. 3rd and 8.
Good smart play by the Branford quarterback just to throw that into the cheap sheets here.
3rd and long for Branford. And it's run to the right side and gains maybe a yard. Bring up 4th down for Branford. They gain about a yard on that run and bring up 4th and almost 6.
4th and 6 on the hand, 46-yard line.
And you do have to watch out for teams that are 1 and 4 because they've got nothing to lose, and they will try trickery if they think they can do it. They do have a man in punt formation back deep, looking to receive is Darrell Noble. Snap and kick, and it's offside of his foot. It's going to go out of bounds at about the 24, 25, near the 25.
25-yard line where the Tigers take over 1st and 10.
So that was only about a 20-yard punt. That one obviously went off the right side of his foot, headed for the right sideline. Hand with their 3rd possession. They scored on their 1st possession. Their 2nd one ended in an interception. And now the 3rd try is starts at the 25. We have 1:14 left in the first quarter. Here comes Milligan around the right side. Breaks a tackle. Gets about 8-9 yards. Almost 9 yards.
That's featured a lot of running plays. It seems like it's taking forever for this first quarter to run down. There's only 49 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and Hand leads by the score of 8-6.
And with a tight formation here. They got Dan Anderson over in the slot to the left, and Milligan brings it down, goes forward, should have the first down across the 35. We have a half a minute left in the quarter. First down Hand. Ball goes to the 36. Colin Johnson in, Greg Walby out for this play. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter, unless it's an incomplete pass. Handed off to Darrell Noble, up the middle, breaks a tackle, breaks another one almost to midfield. First down, about a 12-yard gain. First down, just short of midfield. The clock says 10 seconds. Now they crank it up, and Hand will probably not get this play off before the end of the first quarter. We're down to 3 and running, so the quarter will run out with that play. Hand leads Branford 8-6 after 1 quarter of play in Branford on this game that's been delayed 2 days and played Monday afternoon. We go to quarter number 2 with Steve Fust relieving Jim Kingsley on the camera. We appreciate Jim's help today to help us get it on the air, and a run over the left side by Darrell Noble, forward for about 4 or 5 yards. Darrell Noble.
Ken, it seems like every time that Darrell touches the ball, he's picking up 4 or 5 yards a clip.
Hadn't had any big long ones today, but he's consistently been getting 5, 6, 7, 8 yards.
And it seems like they're just running straight up the middle, keeping your body square. And that's an indication that the field is a little bit off.
Tight formation here. And a run by Dan Anderson, it looks like. Anderson down to the 45, gains a yard, and that's it.
Stop by number 71, Tim Penna. 3rd and 5 for the Tigers.
Timmy Penna on the stop. He's another big guy up there, 6-footer, 220 pounders, defensive lineman.
3rd down and almost 5 for Hand. We're early in the second quarter. Hand is leading Branford by 2 points, 8-6. Ball just across the 45. Milligan pitches wide to Darrell Noble, and Noble looking for the corner, and there's the first down. Darrell Noble takes it down to about the 35, 36.
He was tripped up by the nose tackle, and the nose tackle is wearing a kind of funny number. He's number 20, Mark Spinano.
That was the toss to the right, and everybody clears out over there. There must have been some good blocking ahead of that one, because Darrell found good running space. First down at the 36, in a power I formation. 3 men behind Milligan. Handed off to the first man. Dan Anderson breaks the tackle, and he got both arms wrapped around that ball. Gained about 4.
Mike Barnett on the tackle for the
Branford.
I guess they blew that ball dead a little quicker than I thought. He got close to that 30 before they stopped him, but apparently the whistle was a little earlier than that, so they only gave him 3 yards. Milligan keeps, and he goes to the right, goes forward for 1 or 2. That'll bring up 3rd and fairly long. 3rd and about 5 at the 30.
Jason Bronco on the stop for the Hornets.
There is a different flavor at a game like this with no band, no cheerleaders.
Monday afternoon.
Everybody's sitting back relaxed.
Seems like we're doing a junior varsity game or something on a Monday. You don't seem to be doing that. It doesn't feel like...
3rd and about 4.5 here, and that's Darrell Noble up near a first down. He's very close.
He should have it maybe by 2.5 yards or so.
He needs to get to about the 26. We'll see where they spot it.
Where they're standing, it looks like they're close to the chalk.
The referee's going to look at that one closely. First down Hand at the 26. Power football by Hand. Not much passing. I don't believe they completed one yet, have they, Gabe? They tried a couple. 0 for 3. First down for Hand. Darrell Noble picking up yardage. He's getting it 4, 5, 6 yards at a time, but he's consistently doing it. Milligan hands off to Dan Anderson. Anderson, a big hole. Anderson still going. First down. Gains about 13. Power football. Dan Anderson from the fullback slot came out of there, cut to the right, and took it to about the 12 or 13.
Over the right side. Big hole opened up for him. Kent, that full house backfield, it's something a little different look for Hand to show that. And I wonder if they're working on a few things, you know, possibly for Friday's game with the short work week.
I think they got to worry about this one first. The ball's at about the 12. Pitch wide this time to Darrell Noble, and Noble's looking for blocking ahead of him. He's not going to get much. Gains maybe 2. It was pretty well congested over there where Darrell Noble was looking for a hole. 2-yard gain by Noble.
Mark Spinano once again on the tackle, and he's the fullback, so he's got good speed, and he wears number 20.
Second down and about 8 for Hand at the 9-yard line. They can make a first down about 1.5. Sean Manley splits out slot left. He's going to help block, and there, Darrell Noble, there's a flag down. A flag is thrown in the middle of the line there from the referee behind the Branford team, but that's going to be an illegal block by Hand, a clip. That will bring that back. No score on that run. Still, that was an excellent run by Darrell Noble. He hurdled one man, broke a tackle or two, and took it in. They will run second down again, but this time it'll be at about the 22.
Looks like a 2 wide receiver offense is Wallaby out to the right and Sully's out to the left.
Greg Wallaby at the right side. He's going to be covered by 2 people, and there's Milligan looking for him. Throws it out of bounds over his head. And there was a defensive man in front of him and one behind him. Milligan looking for Wallaby on the right sideline, but no chance.
He's going to bring up the third down, 3rd and 21.
Third and 21. Got Wallaby split to the left this time. And Milligan still got it, rolling right, looking across. Incomplete pass. Aimed for Jeff Monroe, who was down about the 15. Even if Monroe were able to catch that, it would have ended up well short of a first down. 4th and very long for Hand. Fourth and 21. The ball is at the 22.5. And Greg Wallaby looks like he's lined up for a field goal try. And it'll be put down at about the 30. Now we're going to take a timeout as Dan Anderson was late getting into the play.
You're going to spot that ball directly on the 30-yard line.
So that'll make it a 40-yard kick in the air from the line of scrimmage for Greg Wallaby. There's not much breeze, so that shouldn't affect it.
7:35 to go in the second quarter. Tigers lead it by 2, 8-6, 4th and 21. There's a slight breeze.
This the reminder, I've forgotten what, I think it was 2 years ago when they played here. Jim Willis tried a field goal from 50 yards and was about a yard short on it. Greg Wallaby will try a field goal just inside the 30, which would make it a 40-yard field goal. Scott Roberts is the holder. Good snap, good placement, and Wallaby hits it hard. It's got enough distance, I believe. Good. Greg Wallaby, a 40-yard field goal. And Greg Wallaby slipped as he hit that ball, but he got enough of it to get it all the way across the crossbar.
A couple of yards to spare.
Greg Wallaby's tried 2 field goals this year and made them both. That takes Hand up to 11 to 6 ahead of Branford. We have 7:29 left in the second quarter before the half. And Greg Wallaby set to kick off back to Branford, and so far her hand has not been particularly impressive covering kicks. Wallaby kicks it, and it's going to be fielded and bobbled around a little bit at the 15. There's a flag thrown.
James Glee on return. There's a flag on the play.
Jimmy Glee on the return for the Hornets.
That flag was thrown back where probably an illegal block by Branford. We'll wait and see what the referee says. It is. It's an illegal block. Somebody cut a defensive man too low on that return. That will push Branford back to start this possession.
Grave! Grave! Over there! Come on now. Give him the weight.
Okay. After the illegal block on the kickoff return, Branford gets 1st and 10 at the 15. We have 7:20 left in the first half, and the run is for near 5 yards. That's James Kingsley on the bottom of that tackle. About a 5-yard gain.
Ryan Connolly on the stop for the Tigers.
The inside linebackers for Hand are 38 Dan Anderson, 42 James Kingsley. Protecting deep, we've got 2 men over on the far side. Is Sullivan and Walby. And quarterback got it near the right sideline, and Ryan Connolly chases that play all the way to the far sideline. Makes a tackle from behind.
Excellent pursuit by Connolly. He didn't take the fake at all. And he just followed the ball and the ball carrier.
That'll bring up 3rd and about 3 for Branford.
Branford a 3rd and 2.
Tim Sullivan held his position there, and Ryan Connolly ran the play down from behind. For a down lineman, he gets out and covers people from sideline to sideline.
Goes 5'11", 200 pounds.
If Hand can stop this play, they can get the ball back. Branford's got the receivers to the right. Branford takes a timeout. They didn't have all their players in the right position.
They had a 12th player on the field, the fullback number 34, Mike Barnett.
We'll take a break and be back after the timeout. For Branford, they've got 2 receivers coming to the near side of the field, covered by Naylor and Sullivan. High formation. Quarterback looking to throw over to the far side. Complete pass, first down near the 30. Kingsley had the coverage over there, but a rolling catch by the receiver for Branford gives them a first down at the 29.
We've got 5:40 to go in the second quarter. 1st and 10 for the Hornets of Branford.
Hand has scored twice. They have a touchdown and a 2-point conversion and a field goal. And it's run to the left side this time, and not much there.
Ryan
Connolly, Kingsley are the 2 down men in on that tackle. They're in on a lot of tackles.
You know, if we were giving the John Madden Award out, we have to give it to Ryan Connolly. His uniform is always dirty. That's a John Madden type of player.
And he plays that position, the nose tackle. That was an infraction against Branford, but they didn't get much on the play, so Hand declines the penalty. 3rd down and almost 10. Excuse me, second down on West End.
Tucker just checked in the lineup for Branford.
Branford gets
split out to the right side.
Branford with receivers to the near side of the field. And it's a belly series there, an option, and the ball is loose on the ground and down. Branford covers it, but a loss on the play.
Louis Chang was a little slow getting off the field. I thought they were going to come out with 3 wide receivers to the right side.
I did too, only one of them kept coming all the way to the bench. That was a loss of about 6 yards.
Make it about 3rd and 15 or...
3rd and 15, yeah. This is normally a passing type down. We'll see what Branford does with the ball clear back at the 24 now. Motion left, and the quarterback rolls left. And Connolly is after the quarterback, can't quite get him down. And it's intercepted by Kingsley. James Kingsley picks the ball off, picks it back to the 25.
Right, Kingsley! He just stepped right in front of the receiver, Brian Espanado from the Hornets. Took that ball right away from him. He timed it just perfectly.
James Kingsley right in the right place, and another guy that made that play was Connolly, who chased the play, had a hold of the shirt tail there of the quarterback, but could not bring him down, but he rushed him. Hand with the ball back.
Ryan Davey threw that ball flat-footed and didn't have much on it.
Just inside the 25 now, and Milligan keeps and gets maybe a yard. We're just inside 4 minutes left in the first half. Plenty of time for Hand. Inside the 25 now. They have only had one good sustained drive today. Penalties and mistakes have killed their other drives so far. Milligan hands off to Darrell Noble, who takes it down to the 20. It's a gain of about 4.
About 3rd and 5. Okay.
3rd and 5, right at the 20.
3rd and 5 for the Tigers.
Jeff Monroe out this play, and Sean Manley is in at the fullback position. Dan Anderson wide to the left as a receiver, and it's handed off to Noble. Darrell Noble breaks through, got a first down about the 11.
Brought down by Jeff Krasinski for the Hornets.
That was about a 10-yard gain, maybe 9. First down for Hand at the 11. Gives them a new set of downs. They can get a first down just about the 1.
2 wide receivers, Wallaby and Sullivan, stretching the Hornets defense.
Handed off to Sean Manley, who dives across the 10 to about the 9.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the half.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9 for the Tigers.
Jeff Monroe checks back in.
Gabe, they're going to have to wash some shirts at halftime, and we're not going to be able to see the numbers in the second half. Second down for Hand. They're just inside the 10. Handed off to Darrell Noble, and he's following, blocking, right guard, right tackle.
Down to post about the 6.
Yeah, 6 or 7 down in there. James Kingsley leads the blocking over there from his tight end position. Hand takes a timeout with 1:44 left in the first half. I believe that's their second timeout used in this half. That'll bring up 3rd and 5 for a first down, 6 for a touchdown. After the timeout, Hand is looking to score here just before the half. Pitch wide to Darrell Noble on the right side, and Noble's heading for the corner. He's going to be very close to a first down. He is not in the end zone.
We're going to mark it at about the half yard line.
That should give Hand a first down inside the 1. Daryl Noble gets a first down but does not get the touchdown on that one. But Hand has a minute and a half left, a lot of time. And we're going to see power football here. There's Dan Anderson and Sean Manley ahead of Daryl Noble. Power I, strong to the right. Handed off to Anderson, and he sticks it across the goal. Touchdown Hand.
Power football, straight up the middle. Inside handoff.
Touchdown.
That should take Hand's score to 17-6. Ahead of Branford with the conversion try coming. And a bit of a breeze picks up. Scott Roberts the holder, Greg Walby the kicker. Walby has already hit a 40-yard field goal and boots it up, hits it long and good.
1:16 left in the first half. The score, Hand 18, Branford 6.
18-6, Hand ahead of Branford with 1:16 left in the half.
D3T for Branford. Number 20, Mark Spinato, and number 6.
Greg Walby approaching a ball, and he's going to hit a low one. It's going to hit and bounce. Picked up at about the 9-yard line. Return right up the middle, and then breaks a tackle. T.J. Naylor brings him down near the 40.
Mark Spinato, and he also plays at nose tackle. So when was the last time you would see your nose tackle go back deep for a kickoff return?
Was that the same kid? Looked like James Kingsley was downfield that time as a wedge buster on that return, but a good return by Branford. They're down there across the 40, about the 41, but we're just a little more than a minute left before half. They will probably be looking for a long one here. And there's a man left early in the backfield for Dan Anderson. He wraps up the ball carrier.
That should be a motion penalty against Branford.
Yeah, somebody came out of their three-point stance early, moved forward before the snap for Branford.
We're talking it over with Matt Mesa.
They're gonna decline that one because Dan Anderson had the ball carrier wrapped up, no gain. Second and 10. Clock is running, right 1 minute left for the half. Branford's got a man split wide each side, I formation. And quarterback looking to throw. Now he's going to go over the left side, and there should be defensive men there. Jeff Monroe and Dan Anderson put the squish on him over there.
Kaczynski was looking for Mark Spinato down on the left side, but Greg Wallaby had good coverage on that. Got 28 seconds to go to the half. The clock is ticking down.
Branford doesn't appear to be in any hurry at this point. They don't look like they care whether they get this play off before the half or not. It's third and long, third and about 8.
Maybe one last.
We have 10 seconds on the clock. Clock says 5. Now Branford takes timeout with 4 seconds left in the half. Organized for the last play of the half. And Branford took a timeout right before this, so they may try something long. Hand has 3 defensive men back deep. Ball carrier coming their side, and a good tackle by T.J. Naylor right at the line of scrimmage. Stops that play. The first half runs out with Hand leading Branford 18-6. Right quickly, Gabe, any comments about the first half?
Well, it's an impressive ground game for the Tigers, especially Noble, Monroe. I mean, every running play, picking up 5, 6, 7 yards, an average. Unofficial stats from close to maybe 120 yards on the ground first half for the Tigers.
And we will take a break for halftime and be back very shortly with the third quarter of this game. Kick off. Going. We're about ready to begin quarter number 3 with Branford kicking off back to Hand. Back deep to receive for Hand are Darrell Noble on the far side, Jeremy Friedler on the near side. Was fielded by Sean Manley at about the 25, and he takes it right up the middle to about the 35. Hand with good position in the opening of the third quarter. So far, Hand has dominated this game on time of possessions and number of first downs and number of plays. They were stung early on the first play from scrimmage. Branford completed a pass, took it all away for about 80 yards. Hand with the ball first in the third quarter at the 35. Milligan got the ball, and he's got a little room to run. Cuts it back and gains about 7 or 8 yards across the 40. We will have a break in the action here for an injury timeout to a Branford player who was in on that tackle.
That was Mark Spanano once again in on the tackle, the nose guard. He seems to be all over the field. That looks like Nicky Corbin, number 4. It's slow getting up on the field for the Hornets.
And he was right in that tackle. Ryan Milligan rolled it out and gained a good 7 yards on the first play from scrimmage. We will take a break in the action until Branford gets their man off the field. Branford takes number 4 off the field. He's one of their co-captains. Gain about 7 yards by Milligan. This time the run is by Darrell Noble going to the right, and he gains about a yard. Bring up third and short for Hand.
Timmy Pennant on the stop for the Hornets. Third and about yard and a half.
Yeah, about a yard and a half. He needs to get almost to the 45. Third down play. Tight formation for Hand, power I. And it's pitched to Darrell Noble on the right side. Got the first down, cuts it back, gets another 5.
Good block by Jeff Monroe. He's throwing Darrell Noble. Opened up the outside for him so he makes it cut to the inside.
First down for Hand across midfield down to the 49. Hand, I don't believe, has completed a pass yet, have they, Gabe? It's been a ground game, but it's been a fairly successful one. They've kept the ball and kept it away from Branford a great deal of the time. Handed off to Jeff Monroe up the middle, breaks through, covers it up with both arms, down to about the 44.
Tim Pennant on the stop again for the Hornets, and that was a good inside handoff, and Monroe took it for about
almost 5.
6 yards.
Close to 5-yard gain for Jeff Monroe. Brings up second and about 5 the way they've got it marked. Dan Anderson in motion, and Jeff Monroe takes it down to the 40. Looks like he may be a foot short of a first down, maybe. See where he puts it down. The referee's going to put it right on the chalk mark, and he needs another foot, it looks like.
Less than a yard for the Tigers.
Just inside the 40.
Third down and about a foot for Hand, and they're going to stay in that power I running formation. Branford has got 11 men up close to the line of scrimmage too, and there's a run up the middle, first down. Not sure who carried that, Monroe. Blocking ahead of that are Kingsley and Connolly primarily. First down, Hand. Down to the 36.
Coming up on 9 minutes in the third quarter. Tigers lead at 18-6.
So far we've seen Hand score 2 touchdowns, 1 2-point conversion, 1 1-point conversion, and a field goal. Handed off to Jeff Monroe, breaks through, and Jeff Monroe is near another first down. About a 10-yard gain.
Good cross fake by Ryan Milligan, handing the ball off on the inside to Monroe. Monroe, the workhorse on this drive.
First down now at about the 26. Jeff Monroe with a strong lean forward, and he was surprised he wasn't hit near the line of scrimmage. Kept right on going. Greg Walby pretty quiet today, and here's why. He's got two defensive men covering him near side. Run back to the far side, and that's Daryl Noble, who takes it forward for about 9.
Jeff Kaczynski in on the stop for the Hornets. And I tell you, Matt Mason and Chad Taylor are doing a good job up front for the Tigers, opening up the holes for the backs. They're just throwing everybody off the ball.
They gave him about 8 yards, I guess, on that run. But a good run on first down. Ball's at about the 17. Mesa, Connolly, Kingsley on that right side of the line. That's where they're doing a lot of the running. And they're going to do it again. And that should be a first down near the 15 for Daryl Noble carrying again. And the referees say move the chains one more time.
It'll be first and 10 for Hand on the 16-yard line.
Branford is stacking their defense, but so far they haven't been able to stop it very well. Run to the left this time, and that's Daryl Noble for short yardage, maybe 2.
Depending on the stop for Branford, along with number 30, Danny Callahan.
About a 2-yard gain, and it's a little hard to see the yard markers down there, but it's about the 13, it looks like. Second and 8 for Hand at about the 13. Tight formation, everybody in close, power eye. Stay with it, it's successful. Here comes the runner back to this side, Daryl Noble. Looked like he had more space than that, but he gained about 3.
Tackled by the quarterback, number 15.
Third and 4 for Hand just outside the 10.
Third and long 4.
Yeah.
Closer to 5.
Chad Taylor over the ball in center. On the right side is Matt Mesa, Ryan Connolly, and James Kingsley. And they're going to run there. Dan Anderson over that right side, and Anderson still moving down near the 5.
Anderson close to that first down. He kept those legs moving.
We'll see where they spot it. If he made the 5, it's a first down. That should be a first down Hand. First and goal at the 5-yard line.
First and goal for the Tigers at the Branford 5.
Hand hasn't really had to throw the ball too much today. They're doing an excellent job on the ground.
This might be a good time to throw it because Branford's got all the defensive players in close, but Hand has no wide receivers. Everybody in tight. And they're going to run it right up the middle, and there goes Daryl Noble into the end zone. Touchdown Hand. Daryl Noble right behind the blocking. There's Andy Elting gets up. Ryan Connolly, of course. Branford has a man down on the field, but power football, they just took that one and rammed it right down Branford's throat. We do have a break for an injury timeout to a Branford player on that touchdown score. The Branford player was helped off of the field with a severe limp. We hope he's all right. The center for the conversion try is Chris Gavin. The holder is Scott Roberts. The kicker is Greg Walby. Good snap, good hold, and Walby puts it up and good.
Walby's kick is good. And with 5:53 left in the third quarter, the score Hand 25, Branford 6.
25-6 with 5:53 left in the third quarter now. Greg Walby set to kick off back to Branford. And Hand has had a bit of an adventure covering these kicks. This time he's going to hit a ground ball. It's fielded and not fielded, and finally it's going to be falling up on inside the 30, so that was one of the more successful kicks and one of the uglier ones of the game.
They're trying to keep the ball away from the nose tackle, number 20. I think that's funny to see that because your nose tackle is all over the field, and he's also...
Is he the deep man on returning kicks?
Return kicks. And he's returned a couple of long ones against the Tigers this afternoon.
Branford with the ball back at about the 26. And quarterback still got it on the left corner, and Ryan Connolly runs him down from behind again. About a 4-yard game. The nose tackle, Ryan Connolly, goes from sideline to sideline making tackles.
He shed his blocker that time, threw him to the ground, and pursued to his right, never gave up, and made the tackle. He's done that all year.
Allowed about a 3-yard gain. It looked like there was a big corner open there for the ball carrier, but Ryan Connolly kept it to a short gain.
Connolly, Mesa, Suppies, and Johnson are up front for the Tigers. Taking it
right up the middle, and a man breaks through, and he may go all the way. He's going to be caught from behind by Ryan Milligan at the 30-yard line. Ryan Milligan outran the ball carrier. Looked like he stumbled a little bit crossing one of the yard markers.
That was a design play, quarterback draw straight up the middle, and it caught the Tigers off guard just a bit.
That's the first time Branford's had the ball in hand territory for a while, but a good long run by the quarterback right up the middle. Quarterback option to the left, and it's smelled out nicely by Tim Sullivan on the far sideline, stops it for a loss of a couple yards.
For a loss of 3.
Tim Sullivan protected that corner beautifully on that play. About a 3-yard loss. It looks like Branford is most dangerous when they run their option play, and the quarterback is a good runner. Run this time right up the middle, and the man breaks through, finally brought down by Marker Bergami. Bergami makes the tackle. Third and 8 for Branford. Mark Bergami is in there protecting a corner. Jeff Monroe is over on the other corner. The deep men are Milligan, Sullivan, and Naylor. And this time hit behind the line of scrimmage.
Jimmy Gleason,
first man in there for hand was number 64, Ryan Connolly.
Ryan Connolly, put it on tape.
Gabe, we don't have to look for his number, we just look for the dirtiest white jersey out there on the tackle. Ryan Connolly plays the nose tackle on defense. He's right opposite the center. He chases plays from sideline to sideline and is in on a lot of tackles. He's interesting to watch if you do watch nothing else but what Ryan Connolly does on each play. Pitch this time to the right side, and Bergami runs the man out of bounds. Mark Bergami and helped by TJ Naylor. And that was a 4th down play. Hand takes over on downs.
Kent, that was a little strange that on 4th down, 4th and 8, that Branford went to the short side of the field for a first down play rather than trying to go to the wide side of the field and try to stretch things out just a bit.
And that was a 4th down and long play that really had no chance. Hand with the ball back on downs. And Scott Roberts is in at quarterback for the first time today. It isn't quite night yet. Roberts pitches wide to Darrell Noble, who cuts back, and a gain of about 8 yards.
Stop line number 15. For a gain of 7.
Now the PA announcer says it's 7, but he gained about 8.5. We're coming up on 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and Hand is playing grinded out football today. Ball possession. Number 70, Ed Drew, is in there at a tackle position, and there's a run by Jeff Monroe. Had me faked on that one. I was watching Scott Roberts, but he had given it off to Jeff Monroe, who takes it for a first down to the 45. 46.
Another good run by Monroe, and followed his blockers, and that right side of the line has been doing a good job for the Tigers this afternoon. And Penna was in on the stop for Branford.
Number 70, Ed Drew, is now in at left guard for Hand. He has a relatively clean shirt out there. Scott Roberts looking to throw. And he's looking for Walby. Walby near the sideline, incomplete pass. Got one hand on it.
Brian Davey on the coverage for Branford. He's the starting quarterback, number 15. And goes 6 feet, 160 pounds.
Second down and 10, but they were looking for Walby there. Good coverage.
Minute 41 to go here in the third quarter from Branford, and Tigers lead 25-6.
Ryan Milligan is okay. He's not hurt. He's just letting Scott Roberts play some, with Hand leading 25-6. Minute 40 left in the third quarter. Encroachment by Branford.
That was offsides against Branford, and with a new quarterback coming in with a different cadence count, and the causes that to have the defensive lineman to jump off sides.
Second and 5. Handed off to Jeff Monroe, who goes to the right side for 2 or 3. Short of a first down.
That inside handoff play has worked very well so far throughout the whole ball game for the Tigers.
Third and a little over 2 to go. The ball is spotted down at the 38.
2 wide receivers out to the left. It's Sullivan and Wallaby.
And hand it off to Darrell Noble, and he should have the first down. He needed to get to the 30, short of the 35. It looks like he's gotten across the 35.
34-yard line.
Another possession drive by Hand. Keep the clock running, keep the ball in your hands, and we're inside of a minute left in the third quarter. Walby and Sullivan come left and hand it off to the first man, and he is hit twice, gained a yard maybe. That is Dan Anderson, number 38.
Dan Anderson on the carry.
That was a tough yard. He got hit hard by 2 people. We're down to 15 seconds and running. And needs to hurry to get this one off before the quarter runs out, and they probably won't make it. We're at 5 seconds, 2 seconds, and the quarter will run out before they get this play off, with Hand leading 25-6. 25-6 at the end of 3 quarters. Start the fourth quarter, pitch wide to Bergami, who cuts it back. Slips 1 tackle and gains 7 or 8.
On the carry. Tackled by Callahan and Shaq. Good for a gain of 6. Bring up a 3rd and 3 for the Tigers.
That's 9, right? About a 7-yard gain by Mark Bergami, who's in at the tailback position, giving Darrell Noble a break. And it's handed off to Jeff Monroe, who takes it down to the 25. Close to a first down.
Monroe on the carry.
Kent, that should be spot the ball on the 25-yard line.
Looks like he needs less than a yard to get a first.
And 1 for Hand.
4th and 1, and here comes Dan Anderson back into the game with tape hanging off his arm.
I think we're going to see some power football here.
And we'll probably see Dan Anderson run over somebody here on this carry. And there goes Anderson, first down, still churning, going down to the 20.
Good for a hand, first down.
He needed about a foot and a half and gained 4 yards.
Timmy Penna in on the stop again for Branford, along with number 77, Robbie Nelson.
First down for Hand just outside the 20.
And has a first down on the Branford 20-yard line.
The shadows are getting a little long. It's about 10 after 5 in the afternoon on Monday afternoon. Hand stays in their power running formation, and this is Darrell Noble who takes it for 1 or 2 across the 20.
Noble on the carry, stopped by Shannon and Spinato.
Dan Anderson, Ryan Conley, and James Kingsley blocking ahead of that run. About a yard gain. Colin Johnson out. Greg Walby in for this play. Greg Walby is split wide left. And they put 2 men out there to cover him. And they're going to throw a slant in to Walby. Good defensive play.
Pass is incomplete.
A slant into Walby coming from wide left. But it was knocked down by the defensive player.
3rd and 9 for the Tigers.
That'll be 3rd and 9 for Hand.
Third
And if
and
they
9.
don't make it, I wonder if they're going to try another Wallaby field goal.
I don't believe Hand has a complete pass yet, do they? Well, they got the 2-point conversion to James Kingsley. 3rd and 9. Milligan looking to throw, rolling left, good protection. Now he's going to bring it down and run. And a beautiful block by Anderson. Anderson absolutely pancaked the defensive man. Near a first down. Dan Anderson lowered the boom on a man about to make a tackle there. They will bring in the chains and measure. It's close enough.
Kent, this is the first measurement all ballgame.
Timeout for measurement.
Might be. I thought I remembered one down on the other end of the field, but
just short?
they're about
Inches short?
3/8 of an inch short, it looks like. 4th down coming up for Hand, and they need a very little bit.
Here we go!
Ball's at about the 11. We have 9:25 left in the game. Chad Taylor over the ball at center, and this is going to be smash mouth football at its best right here. 4th and inches. They're going to make Ryan Conley go out of the game. Apparently he's got a scrape or a cut on his arm that they're going to have to put a Band-Aid on. Trying to see who came in for him. Andy Elting came into that position for Ryan Conley. 4th and short. Handed off to Monroe, and he should have it. He crossed the 10-yard line. He needed to get really to about the 11. First down for Hand. Clock continues to run. We have 9 minutes left in the game.
Ball's just inside the 10-yard line.
First and goal. And that bare spot just this side of the Hand players is where it was standing water yesterday. Pitch wide to Darrell Noble. Cuts it back, heading for the end zone. Touchdown Hand. Darrell Noble cuts it back inside the block of 68 Andy Elding, and I saw Matt Mesa over there with a good block, but takes it right to the end zone. Extends Hand's lead over Branford. to 31-6 with 8:35 left in the game. Greg Walby to try the conversion.
Conversion kick to be attempted by number 5, Greg Walby.
Chris Gavin, the snapper. Scott Roberts, the holder. Greg Walby has been perfect so far today, including a 40-yard field goal. Good snap, placement, and Walby boots it long.
Walby.
Right through.
And with 8:35 left in the ballgame, the score is 32, Branford 6.
Set to kick off, back to Branford. It's a low grounder, and it's not fielded cleanly. Rolls down near the 30, probably out of bounds, but it was touched inbounds. Branford gets the ball at about the 29, it looks like, where the referee has his foot down.
The Hunters take over 1st and 10 on their own 29-yard line.
And the sun has disappeared on us for the rest of the day, it looks like.
Kent, we got some substitutes now in the ball game.
Yeah, let's see if we can pick up the rest of the players that are getting in. Jeff Knowlton, number 20, is in there. Number 7 is Dan Brand. 36 is Brian DeConcilius. Branford cuts it back this side. DeConcilius makes a tackle. Number 14 is Hunter Morris in the game. 40 is Sean Manley. Manley has played quite a bit this game. But Matt Mesa is out, and Jeff Monroe is getting a break. You can pick up the dirty shirts on the sideline game to tell who's out of the game. Number 12, Josh Stillwell, is in. And that play is stacked up by Matt DeConcilius, Ed Drew, Andy Elting, and Sean Manley on the bottom of it.
Number 40, Sean Manley.
3rd down and 2 for Branford.
7:30 left to go here in the ball game. The Tigers lead at 32-6. It's 3rd and 3 for the Hornets.
Every play hand is bringing in a clean shirt.
Inside, Dad!
And it's run to this side, and finally the quarterback unloads, and nothing there.
Josh Stillwell.
Josh Stillwell, Ed Drew cover the man for a loss.
Stillwell.
An option to the near side of the field, and it was strung out and covered well by hand.
4th and 5 for the Hornets.
There aren't many of the starters still in the game. Number 42, James Kingsley, who calls the defensive signals, is still in a linebacker, and 68, Andy Elting, is also a linebacker, and he's played a lot today. Most of the rest of the players on the field are incomplete, in and out of the hands of the receiver. A good pass thrown by Branford, but not handled. Coverage there was by Dan Brand down deep on the left sideline.
1st and 10 on the Branford 33-yard line.
That was a 4th down play for Branford, and Hand gets the ball back. We will see some new players in the offensive set for Hand at this point too.
I see Jimmy Friedler's checked in, number 32. Chris Gavin is in the ball game. Ryan Supernut.
69, Chris Gavin is over the ball at center, and Scott Roberts is at quarterback. Jeremy Friedler at tailback. He gets the pitch, cuts it back, and cuts it back well to the sideline, out of bounds. Chased out of bounds. Gain of
Looks for a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 for the Tigers.
Jeff Knowlton, 20, and Sean Manley, 40. Jeff Monroe. Second and 5 for Hand. Sean Manley is the fullback. He gets the ball right up the middle across the...
Callahan, Kent was in on the stop for Branford, along with number 71, Timmy Penna.
3rd and 1 for the Tigers.
Sean Ryan, number 60, comes in the game for him. Also number 6, Mike Hominick, who hasn't had a chance to play much today because he's the punter, and I don't believe Ham has punted today. I don't do. You remember?
No, they haven't.
Friedler runs hard. The ball's at
3 carry once again. By Dan Diga.
And we'll keep the ball on the ground and use the kick. A 4-yard gain. Scott Roberts in control. 26.
Bob Dominowski just checked in the ball game.
Friedler, who takes the ball down.
Carry stop by 71. Tim Penna.
Just short of the 32 or 3 yards.
And number 34, Mike Barnett.
Wow,
3rd and 2 for the Tigers.
Coming up 4.5 minutes left in this ball game, and Hand has it safely tucked away. 32-6 against Branford.
Kent, Jeff Knowlton's in the ball game, and he split to the left.
Well, this time it's Sean Manley who is turning forward. First down down near the 10, maybe the 11.
Get another one.
First down about the 11.
Tilton Diggs in on a stop for Branford, along with Mike Barnett.
And Brand, number 7, brings in play. Scott Roberts. This time due to Manley, Sean Manley, and he's got a touchdown here.
Yeah, Manley!
200-pound, 6'1", takes it into the end zone to extend Hand's lead. And Sean Manley already plays quite a bit. He's going to be a good player. He's a sophomore for him.
What do you got?
I don't see Greg Walby in there to try the conversion game.
No, I don't know. Well,
Walby is standing on the sideline. Looks like they're going to go for 2. Dan Brand is the tailback. Sean Manley is the fullback.
Scotty Roberts is your quarterback. Quarterback sneak up the middle, and he made it.
Everett.
Hand's lead is 38-6. To Branford. Andy Elting out there is the only other one with a dirty skirt. Everybody else is got a clean field line. It's trying to pick up at about the 15.
Looked like Ryan Supernon on the tackle, and that was
number 14 in the tackle too.
Our favorite player for Branford once again, Mark Spinato, the nose tackle. With 3:39 left to go in the ball game, and Hand has this ball game all wrapped up with the score of 40-6, and it's 1st and 10 for the Hornets.
Go, T! Go, Danny!
Good
job, Monty!
line.
On the hand 46-yard line.
Into the game comes Sean Ryan.
Don't-
Chris Gannon. First down for Branford down at the 46. 3.5 minutes left in the game.
That was a good run by Jimmy Glee for Branford, pulling the sweep to the left side.
Right this time, good tackle by number 79.
Tim Thistle. Tim Thistle, 5'11", 175-pound sophomore.
88 is calling the signals for him, and I don't have a number 88 on my roster. Do you know who that is, Gabe?
No, I don't.
His mama knows who he is. He's in the game. Running the ball up the middle, good run by
Jimmy Glee.
tackled by Brian Deacon-Silius and Chris Gavin. First down for Branford.
By number 69, Chris Gavin, who for Branford first down.
Andy Elton and Matt Deacon-Silius are the two dirtiest shirts out there for him. They've both played a lot. On to the right side this time, and it's only stacked up.
Nice one down the carry.
Number 88, the unidentified number 88, makes the tackle. Good play.
By number 14, Hunter Morris.
14 is Hunter Morris, also in on that tackle. He's a sophomore. Now there's 2 minutes left in the ball game with 10 safely in front. Playing a lot of the younger kids who don't get a chance to play a lot. Good run by Branford. Finally brought down from behind by Chris Gavin.
Number 69, Chris Galvin.
Dominowski helped out in the tackle.
Chris Gavin's a 6-footer, 190-pound junior. He showed good pursuit on that play.
Chris Gavin is primarily the long snapper for punts, field goals, extra point tries. First down for Branford. Run to the left, and he's going to be stacked up at the 15. That's Andy Elting off of the bottom of that tackle. Good tackle by Elting. 2nd and 8. And we have a minute left in the ball game now. And they're going to run right up the middle. Good run by Branford. Andy Elting on the tackle again, near a first down.
First and goal for the Hornets.
First and goal for Branford at about the 7.
On the 7-yard line.
With 35 seconds left to go in the ball game.
35 seconds left. Run off the right side, big hole there, and down near the goal line. Finally,
Morris Hunter on the stop for the Tigers.
timeout Branford. Timeout Branford, the ball is about the 2.
Next Saturday, 1:30, right here versus the Green Dragons of Hamden High. That's next Saturday, 1:30 versus the Hamden Green Dragons.
The clock says 19 seconds left in this game.
Ken, it looks like the Tigers are going to get the second half of the season off on a good winning note, a good performance here in Branford. Next week, I keep saying next week, but this Friday, in the next couple of days, we travel up to Quigley Stadium for a ball game with Notre Dame of West Haven, and we urge everyone listening and watching the ball game to come out a little bit early because there should be a good crowd.
And Notre Dame West Haven is probably the toughest opponent Hand has left on their schedule this year. They're a good team. and they're also ranked in the top 10. And this is the first game that Hand has put somebody away this year. They have played the toughest schedule in the state, all schools. And they're trying to keep Branford out of the end zone here with just a few seconds left in the game, but they're not going to do it. Branford scores again. Branford's second touchdown.
With 13 seconds left to go in the game, that was Jimmy Glee, number 33, in for the touchdown for the Hornets.
That will put Branford's total up to 12 points with a conversion try coming. Branford is going to go for two here. They got two receivers split wide right, I formation. Quarterback rolling right. Going to look to throw. Now he's going to throw across and knocked down by number 80 there for Hand. Ryan Supernut.
Ken, this is also another ball game where we did not see Hand lose a player to an injury. It seems like every week they've had an injury to one of their key ball players, and it looks like they're going to come out of this game healthy.
That's a good point. Nick Ricano is in Civvies today, and I noticed that Special K over there is Mario Kishwala is walking around without crutches on the sideline, so maybe they'll get him back before the end of the season. He had a broken bone in his leg.
Oh, does he? Oh, good.
We understand he starts practicing tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Would he be available for limited duty on Friday? That question still remains up in the air.
Hand has time. Run the kick back. We'll probably see an onside kick here. What have they got to lose? They're lining up with a strange formation here. This is going to be a major collision at about the 50-yard line. And it is covered by Hand, it looks like.
Hand takes over first and 10 on their own 49-yard line.
Now, 12 seconds left to go in the ball game. And
that was Jim Thistle who covered that ball on the kick. Used up 1 second. 12 seconds left in the game with Hand leading 40-12. A good win for Hand in their 6th game of the season. That takes their record to 3 wins, 2 losses, 1 tie. And the 2 losses and a tie are against teams that are all ranked in the top 10 in the state. And the team that they play next Friday night, Notre Dame West Haven, is another one ranked in the top 10 of the state.
Ken, if you take away just maybe 2 plays, the 91-yard kickoff return that Fairfield Prep had against us, and the 67-yard punt return that Hamden had against us, you know, we could conceivably be 4-1 on the year. And as the clock winds down, this win is in the record books, and the final score from Branford is the Hand Tigers 40 and the Branford Hornets 12.
So be sure and come to the game this next week. It's an away game Friday night at Quigley Field in West Haven against Notre Dame West Haven. This is Kent Sprague with Gabe Balsamo and Steve Few standing up on the camera. Jim Kingsley helped out earlier from Branford, where Hand beats Branford 40-12 in their 6th game of this season. And looking forward to another tough one this coming Friday night. Good night.